All right. I think we're on there. Are we up? Um, are we live now? Holy shit. What a nightmare, huh? I think we're here though, folks. Welcome to the live stream. How do I make this a different size? Yeah, we're up. We're up and running. Did everyone hear me say holy shit? All right. Well, good. Old JKM and the curse words. How good is my avocado sticker? My daughter put that on there. It's on, baby. Whoever said Duresta Technical Services, maybe that's one of my favorite insider jokes of all time. Absolutely incredible. Old JKM and the curse words. Shit. Now we're double streaming here. What is happening, my friends? Happy Thanksgiving Eve. I am happy to be here. Welcome. I don't know if anybody saw, we posted a woodworking quiz in the community tab on YouTube as well as over on Instagram. You should take it. It's really fun. We don't do any data collection, but you can test your moxie. See if you can beat old JCam. Although I wrote it, so probably can't beat me. What's up, bearded Viking words? Nick, I can't hear you. Check your audio drivers. Oh, no, you're just screwing me, Nick. God damn, you got me good. We've been trying to fix the audio drivers for 25 minutes. Rigid Ron, what's going on? Member. I love that. So happy Thanksgiving. Put your questions in the chat. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. I know Nick is just he's my kind of guy. That's what I would do to my friends too. Is be like, what do you mean? I can't hear you. The joy of doing this kind of stuff live is we run into technical issues. So Rigid Ron, I was wondering if you're going to make more YouTube content. Yes, yes, and yes. Here's the problem with starting a tool company, right? And then being successful at it is it takes so much of your time. I mean, how much time do you think, the owner of Tay Tools, Mike Taylor, actually it's not owned by Mike Taylor anymore, but the owner of Lee Valley, Rob Lee, or Woodpeckers, how much time do you think they get to make videos? So point being, Mark, who's my co-founder, who's behind the camera right now, has been behind the camera for nearly a decade. Him and we just hired 4 more people, and we're trying really hard to make content because that's my favorite thing in the whole world. I love sharing what I know with you guys and, getting the opportunity to talk about things I'm so passionate about. And so I love that. I really want to do a video on router bits, up, down, spirals, straight bits, compression bits, because we do a lot of manufacturing here. The router table we manufacture, the sled kit, the dovetail alignment board, the box joint jig, which is around here somewhere. We manufacture all those here at Katz-Moses Tools. So I go through, 100 router bits a month. We adjust feeds, speeds, settings, cut depths, all those things constantly because we're trying to get the best finish on our products. We're about to release something with Jason Hibbs from Bourbon Moth that'll be manufactured here, Michael Alm, and all those things are like really difficult to do well. They're really, I wouldn't say easy, but you can get to level 2 pretty well and get stuff made. But when you start looking at overhead and cost of materials and bits, it really pays to get good at those kind of things. So long story short, I'd love to do more content. We're working on it. We got a video coming out on these Zenmu chisels coming. We just started carrying these. These are so cool. They come hand lapped, so they come super sharp. They have real high Rockwell hardness. Wow, 4 more people. Yeah, Rigid Ron, we're growing. We just added 10,000 square feet. So we're in 25,000 square feet here now. I just got 3 new lasers. So we've got 6 lasers now. We've got 3 CNC machines. All Lagunas, which they're awesome machines, but I only bought those because they all match. So my warehouse is all black. And then in here we have all Powermatic, which is really fun too. So it's all black and yellow in here. And then out there, it is CNC machines. Yes, the king of slow-mo. Actually, for that router bit video I was talking about, we got a ton of slow-mo in the mix. So, how good? Whoop, I can't hit play on that, huh? Or let's see here. Let me see if we turn these down. All right, we got 96 people here. Matt Mays, congratulations. I know. So the table full of tools here. I was just shooting a video with my daughter this morning that'll go out tomorrow, which we do every year, Thanksgiving video. Funny thing you can comment on when I publish that is I'm wearing the same shirt in this Thanksgiving video as last Thanksgiving video, which makes me look like a real nerd. But I promise I do have other clothes. Yeah, the growth has been insane. The Jig Square, we have sold so many of those. I think maybe 7,000 of those so far. Right, Mark? We're at 7,000 of the Jig Square. No, we're at 8. I think we have 8 coming in. But we filed a patent on that. That one's really exciting. I think it has like 79 5-star reviews. People love it. The Bourbon Blade, of course, was a big one this year. And then I have so many products coming up. We're going to be releasing a series of Kumiko jigs with Matt Kenny. We've been gearing up our manufacturing facility for that. I have a patent pending wall tool holding system that'll be coming out. There'll be a bunch of different types of manufacturing. So it'll be injection molding, 3D printing, aluminum extruding. That's really exciting. I just filed a patent for a new miter rail. We've got a countersink drill bit coming out that is like, I think, going to be industry changing. That one's the one I'm most excited about. That one I think is going to be so big that it'll be like our biggest selling tool of all time because it is that cool. I just got the final manufacturing prototype back, and that's really exciting. I love making tools. It's a really good time. Mez and Tapas. I love my Jig Square. That's awesome. Yeah, no time for changing clothes. I started playing with SketchUp. Joaquim Ribeles. That is a lot of name there, my friend. I'm proud of you for that. That's like a part-time job just filling out applications. You started planning your shop with SketchUp. That's really cool. We have a free tool over on our website. It's a PDF. You can print out the graph paper that comes with it. You make sure you print it 100%. Bearded Viking, man. I really appreciate that. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Bearded Viking with the super chat. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. What was I saying? My guy, where'd he go? So you started playing with SketchUp. I got a free tool over on my website. It's a PDF where you can print out the graph paper and the tools, and they're all to scale. But what we did that was, I think, really cool is the tools come with how much space you ideally want on either side of that tool. So the tool, and then plus some red area, so you can see, hey, when I put up my tools, I need to be able to move around, or, if my jointer is here and it's going to intersect with the space I need for my table saw, I need to make sure the jointer is lower than the table saw, that kind of stuff. I'd love to see a stop block for the miter saw station that doesn't have a fence. Who is that? Oh, it's so funny. I was having a conversation with somebody about that yesterday. Now, I always tell people what you can do with your stop block is flip it over. You mount your bolts the other way and flip it, and then you can just slide it back and forth, and then you still get to use the micro adjust that way. That's not saying that's exactly what it's for, but certainly a solution. I love your tools and even wear your shirt. I'm going to wear this shirt that's going to be our inside joke. How many of you are here? 170 of you would know this now. This is our inside joke. This shirt, every Thanksgiving, we're wearing it until it's in tatters. You're going to watch Layla. Layla is in all the Thanksgiving videos. You're going to see her go boop, 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 boop. And if you care, Layla update. She's in kindergarten now. I just started kindergarten this fall. And man, I love it. I volunteer at the STEAM program there, and I'm building a maker space. So funny. School start, I immediately was like in the principal's office, like, we need a maker space. I have the tools. I'll build it, And they were like, man, who's this guy? He can't be serious. And I was like, no, I'm very serious. Let's redo science. Bearded Viking Woodworks, thank you for your really nice compliment, and really thank you for the kind donation. Any donations will go to the charity, Katz-Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund. We've given out over $250,000 in tools in the last year. We just gave away 6 saw stops, $10,700 worth of saw stops last month in October, right? Yeah, it was October, right, Mark? And the charity's doing incredible things. It's in the About section. If you want to donate directly, in the About section of our website, KM Tools, which, by the way, we're doing the biggest Black Friday sales event on the internet right now over there at KM Tools, and we're giving away a lot of prizes. But anything you donate in the chat will go straight to the charity, and it's something I really, really love doing. One of the things about making that everybody, what's up, Doug? Everybody in this chat knows is that woodworking is one of the most cathartic, making things is one of the most cathartic exercises anybody can do. And you know that it gives you a sense of pride and self-confidence to finish things and learn new tools and tasks and skills. And so the charity is so incredible because a lot of times people with the dado stack is sold out already. We sold through those so freaking fast. We're going to get 400. I just ordered 400 more. They'll be here second week in December. I will do a makeup sale of those. So don't fret if you didn't get it. Just make sure you click the notify me when back in stock, or make sure you sign up for the newsletter. You have a product design idea involving joiner safety. Can you share any tips for getting it off the ground? Yeah, man. Prototype. Get to a place that you like it, where you think there's no more left to do. Then give it to your friends, and they're going to tear it apart and tell you what's left to do. All the tunnel blindness that you get, sort of like editing your own term paper. I'm sure you know that as a 17-year-old. You tend to get tunnel blindness when you're working on something. So give it to somebody to tell you what's wrong with it. Then, take those ideas and implement them if you think they're right for you. Then you're going to want to find maybe a designer to help you draw it in CAD if you can't already do that. Then you need to send it off for prototyping to potential manufacturers, get a cost for the prototype, get a cost for manufacturing, and then go to market. The great thing about social media is good ideas sell. So if you have a good idea and you're willing to take it the distance, you can do that. You put on pre-sale. Maybe collect a little bit of money up front so you don't have to put all that money up for manufacturing. And just be real clear with people if you're going to do that, hey, maybe a 6-month wait or a 4-month wait. It's, oh man, Scott, that's amazing. Scott, make sure you apply for our charity too. I was just talking about that before you came on. Katz-Moses Woodworkers Disabilities Fund. We've $250,000 we've given out in tools and resources in the last year. So we're here for you, and we love taking care of our veterans and anybody with an ADA recognized disability. Sorry, back to the joiner tool. Make sure that you it's all the way done. Get it drawn. It needs to be 3D drawn with all the tolerances and thread sizes and all those things, and then take it to a manufacturer. Lots of ways to do that. You can do that in America. You can do it in Mexico, Canada, India, China, Taiwan. You really want to find the best person for your solution. And a lot of times, if you're doing small batch manufacturing, it may pay to do it yourself or find somebody locally who can help you with that. And you can create a few working prototypes that you can sell and get feedback on. So looking back at the chat here, gotta love that. That chisel set is Jesus. Zenwu Tools, we just started carrying him. The diamond stones and strop, it's like the best one I've ever seen. Mark, will you hand those to me? They're over here right on that side, underneath the ones that are already open. And his chisels, so he's like a metallurgist. So what's crazy about him is he was like an AI scientist. I think he worked at NVIDIA. He won't tell me, but I think he cashed out big. And he's at MIT getting his doctorate, and he really is smart guy, and he is just redoing woodworking tools. I think that he's taking a really unique approach to these things, and it's really just incredible what he's doing. And these diamond stones are really, you all right?
Yeah, I'm just curious how much longer you're going to be filming, if I should wait.
Yeah, we're live streaming. So everybody, Lou, from the basketball video. So these diamond stones are so flat that they like suction cup together. You should go watch the video I just put on my Instagram. But what's really innovative about these is that diamonds are typically put into a steel substrate. And so you can't flatten that side after you've impregnated them. So diamond stones are actually really not flat that often. Every diamond stone I have in here that's not from Luke, from Zenwu, you can shine light in between them when you put them together, which is the opposite of what a diamond stone is supposed to do. Well, so what he did was he created a brass substrate that he applies after these have been flattened to 0.0015 inches tolerance, which is so freaking flat. And then, when you talk about microns, right? A human hair is 8 microns. So like if a diamond is 1 micron above the other ones, it's going to sink into the brass as you use it. So it's already like the flattest diamond stone on the market, but then you actually continues to get flatter. Did the chat break? No. Oh, we just haven't had any questions. I'm just yap. The strop is amazing because it's kangaroo leather, which is the best leather for strops, and then a synthetic PVC material. He impregnates compound into them, so you never have to add compound to these. They're incredible. Sorry, I went on quite the tangent there. Just reminding everybody we're having the biggest Black Friday woodworking sale. It is live on our site right now. But the coolest thing about it, any plans on doing more long-form content, like a multi-part build series? I feel so much gets lost in shorter YouTube videos. What up, Fred? What up, Scott? Yeah, sure. Nobody watches them. That's the problem. Is like, Alex Steele's the master. He'll do 27-part videos. And I wish I could figure out that kind of content because that is like my favorite. I really hate the fact that we have to cut so much and I don't get to talk and explain. The so flat, the ringing on that, Paul, is really ridiculous. But I get bummed not being able to share everything because I feel like, I taught myself woodworking via things like YouTube and books and videos and all that kind of stuff. And I really took a different approach, which is why I got right into tool making as I started, because I was so frustrated by woodworking. Feels like the type of industry where everybody goes, you have to do it this one old way. And it's changing so fast now because of social media that people are bucking that trend finally. And so guys like Luke are coming in and reinventing the way chisels are made. I mean, those are Rockwell 64 minimum. They're way harder than Lee Nielsen, way harder than Lee Valley, yet they're easy to sharpen. He created a new type of, new way of making steel, like the way that he cools it and heats it and tempers it. It's really wild. And the chisels come hand sharpened, so they have flattened. They sharpen them like Japanese chisels. So there's a 20 micron concave in the back, which is very small. And then the front is razor sharp. So you take those out of the box, they'll slice your finger right off. Is the bourbon blade coming out in a full tank version? No, those exist. That's just a chisel knife. There's quite a bit of them, but we do have a bourbon blade mini. We should have the samples next week. Hey, Jeff, thank you so much. Jeff Sellers, are you related to Paul Sellers? Yeah, so flat that it sucks, Paul, like your mom. Sorry, couldn't help myself. So flat, yeah, it's called ringing. That's a technique in metalworking where they have these gauge blocks. So like if you need a certain measurement that is 0.0012, you can get like the 0.001 and the 0.0002 and ring them together and they suck to each other and they stick. And that's when things are so flat they can't, no air can get between them, so they're really hard to pull apart. It's called ringing. It's really cool. Does Boss Dog glue live up to hype? Yeah, man. It's the thing about Boss Dog, right, is like it's fantastic. He makes some claims about it being better type on it, this and that. But at the end of the day, it's a water-based PVA glue, and it works really good. He's got a bunch of colors. And the best part is I'm supporting a small business, right? Like I could be a type-on vendor. That would be very easy. But this guy who's working out of his garage and kicking ass, and you get the great customer service, and he overnights me stuff if I run out. I mean, why wouldn't I support that? And his CA glue is amazing. He's got a black CA glue. It's competitively priced. Like I'd much rather shop small than big. Always, always, always. And I really love preaching that. Don't give Jeff Bezos your money. Give it to creators who are working hard for you and are in the garage making things, and that's who you should shop with if you can. Obviously, there's some things you don't have those choices, but shopping small is an amazing thing. It's what made my career, and anybody I see doing something incredible as a small business, I love to try and support that if I can. I am wanting to start a YouTube. Do you have any tips? Yes. Do it for the love of it. If you want to make money, don't do it. Flag on the play, JK. Sorry, Paul. I couldn't even help myself. Any tips to become a successful YouTuber? Yeah, I get this question all the time. And the real answer is do it for the love of it. Don't ever expect you're going to make any money because there are quite literally. Last time I looked at the statistic was 4 years ago. It has to be so astronomically higher, but it's like every month 33 million YouTube channels are created, and 33 million people post videos. Or I'm sorry, it's probably a much bigger number than that, but the chances of becoming successful are very small. So do it because you love it. Do things you are passionate about. Don't give a shit if it's bad. Just post, just record, because it's the only way you get better at it. If you want to go see something funny, go watch my first video. I changed the title to "Don't Watch This Old Video. Watch my new stuff. It's way better." Because it's so embarrassing. I was so bad. And it was like, "Hi, I'm Jonathan Katz-Moses. Today we're going to build this box upside down." And it's real embarrassing to go back and watch it. But the thing about it is it just takes so much to become successful at it that if you're not relying on it to become a source of income, then it's really fun. And community interaction is really fun. And you look around and you see all these guys with 100,000 subscribers, right? And you think, oh, they must have made it. No way. Those guys are struggling. I bet those guys have 2 jobs. The guys that you see who are sort of smaller channels that have all these amazing tools and are doing really well, I bet they did really well or are doing really well doing something else. A guy, I love his content, Suman Sarkar. You look around, his shop is bougie, and he's got 25,000 subs on YouTube. He puts out amazing content. Everything is well shot, well edited, incredible equipment, all those things. But Suman is like a really well-paid research scientist, and he just loves woodworking. So, like, my mic is low? No, I think your volume is low, Sabas. You're the first person who's complained about that. So maybe try cranking the volume. How do you handle the fame of the YouTube success, as in ever demanding expectations for more YouTube content? I don't give a shit, man. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I feel like I do what I can. I love to share content, but I don't want to put out mediocre content. I don't want to rush videos. I feel like when we started this tool company, I kind of was doing some of that. My mic's all the way up, guys. I don't know. I just turned it. No, it looks like it's all the way up. Do you want me to talk into it like this? Okay, double the usual. Let's see here. What if I do this? How's that, guys? Hello, hello, hello. Let me see if your mic gain is low. His mic is cool, Sabas. Thanks, Paul. I don't know. I think we should fight about it. How do I handle the fame of YouTube? Well, first of all, one of my parents is texting me. They're apparently watching and to not like your mom joke. It's probably my mom who's writing me. I haven't saved under the same contact, so I never know who's calling me, which I don't know how to fix because every time I delete it and try and fix it, Google re-updates my contacts because I have so many email addresses on my phone. That is a little louder. Better. Okay. I think we should have a 10-minute argument about the microphone. I think that's a good use of our live stream time, right? What do you think, guys? How do you deal with unhappy customers? Well, here's the thing, first of all, you'll never be 100% successful and you never make 100% of people happy. So it's, the Australia have to go further joke is pretty good. I might use that. I might steal that, Brian. The unhappy customers first, you just try and be nice, right? And, you try and be reasonable. I think I'll tell you what we do, when someone is, I'll tell you when someone's a real big dick, I tell my guys, listen, you do not have to put up with being disrespected. It's one thing to be angry and it's one thing to be upset, but being rude and disrespectful is completely the opposite. So, does Tay-Tools count as supporting the small company? I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Tay-Tools is not owned by a small company anymore. They got bought by a private equity company earlier this year. So take that as you will. The company, I think it's another Missouri company that sells Carhartt clothing. you know, their two brothers own it, but I think it's Meridian Group bought it or something. We actually we tried to buy it, but we could not afford it. But we did make an offer with a lot of debt, but it just was never going to happen for us. It was they wanted. I don't know if I'm allowed to be saying this stuff, but it was a lot of money. You know, I think it was like close to 20 million. But I totally lost my train of thought. Unhappy customers. Yeah. So I tell my guys, like, look, you know, do they shop with us regularly? Is this a one-time customer who just shops around and is angry all the time? Are they being reasonable? I like to try and fix things. Like, you know, a guy, he wrote us, said, hey, I broke my bourbon blade, doing something dumb I shouldn't have done. Like, is there any way you can do it? Sandy, any chance my mallet goes back in stock before Christmas? No, but we do have a new product that we're doing with Hong Dewey that we're going to release in about a month, and it'll be coming in with the mallet. And it's going to be a coping saw. And it's going to be really exciting. Lee Valley attorneys have entered the chat. Yeah, so I try and look at, like, do people shop with us if they spent, you know, money with us in the past, and then if it's beyond our return period, or anything like that, you know, I'll say we'll make an exception. You know, happy to take care of you, and we'll get it figured out. So, completely mainly for templates and bits. What's the deal with compression bits? Up, down, please. Down cut. You ready? Down cut is going to, look, this is the router we're giving away as part of our grand prize. Our grand prize is like $2,000 worth of tools. It's like this $700 router, bourbon blade, a jig square, a stop log, a router table, a 6-in-1 jig. So all you have to do is shop with us over Black Friday. Biggest Black Friday event of the year for woodworking. It's really good. So here's the deal. Down cut is going to give you a better edge closest to your router. Upcut's going to give you a better edge on the opposite side. Compression is going to do both. However, compression isn't going to be good for mortises because it's going to push wood and pull wood into the thing, and could potentially cause burning because it's not going to be able to evacuate the dust. A down cut is going to give you a better finish on the top. So the router bit is going to be great for the top part of a mortise, but again, it's going to be pushing sawdust into the thing. So typically for a mortise, you want to use an upcut on hardwood, but you want it to be sharp and all those kind of things. So thanks, Rigid Ron. But a compression bit is perfect for template routing because you get both edges of the plywood. If you're doing anything with plywood, a compression bit, that's all we use on the CNCs for cutting stuff out because you get the top and bottom. Can you recommend an airless sprayer for poly and lacquer? Yeah, don't get an airless sprayer. Get an HVLP gun. The new 3M one with the replaceable bags, they sent me a sample of it. Holy shit, I love that thing. However, it's very, very expensive. But you can buy like $100 kit from Amazon or $200. I did a video on this like 4 years ago. It was my mom who was mad about that. I got to run payroll today for the holiday. Look at me getting all squirreled. The template is acrylic. Yeah, but the bearing runs on the template, Michael. You want the compression for the top and bottom of the plywood. So, you know, you just need to think about where it's going. I have a whole video on that as well with slow-mo and things like that. It's really good. Any advice for someone who wants to grow a woodworking maker channel? So many in your space complain about YouTube and says it's a losing endeavor. Yep, keep posting. Listen, it is. I answered this question about 10 minutes ago if you want to scroll back. But it is. But if you do it because you love it and you love teaching and you love sharing your skills, then you know what? Who knows? One day it may pay off for you. But if you're doing it to make money, you should not do it. I did not start this to make money. It just was something I loved doing. And I had a Christmas light installation company. So I worked like 12 weeks a year, nonstop. And then the rest of the year, I just love to screw around and shop and woodwork. And I invented that dovetail jig, and I needed a way to tell people about it. So I started a YouTube channel, and then I started loving the feedback, and I loved showing my journey and teaching. I really love teaching. So I've always just loved it. I've never stopped loving my YouTube endeavors. And, luckily we've been able to turn into kind of a big enterprise, but it's not even the YouTube that pays us. It's the tool company. It's the making of the tools and all those things, which is why I haven't been posting as much, but we are looking to get back into it. So, I recommend if you're going to do it because you love it and you want to share your work. It is a fabulous tool to share your work regularly on social media because it's... holy shit, I lost my train of thought. It's a great sales technique. So if you have friends and family, you want them to think about you woodworking all the time, because then when their friend says, oh, I need a table made for my new kitchen, I just built a house. You can be like, oh my God, my friend Mark or Jonathan does woodworking all the time. You should talk to him. And that's a great way to get leads for custom furniture. But really, if you want to succeed, learn how to do base and case, put in pre-hung doors and window bucks and window trims, because you can make a lot of fucking money. Pardon my language. I used to do that. I had a construction company. You make a ton of money, $65, $75 an hour for finished carpentry. Do that 3 days a week, and then you're in the right spot, because when you're there doing base and case, the house is almost done. You can say to the owner or the GC, like, hey, what are you doing for furniture? Do you want like a quote for a custom dining table or some sort of statement piece when people walk in? So it's a great way to build your business by learning finish carpentry. Would you ever do in-person classes? Yes, actually. If you sign up for our newsletter right now, we're having one person, all expenses paid trip to Santa Barbara for an in-person class with me. Then we're going to do a charity event here in April or May. It'll be in our shop. And we'll be doing classes. We'll get some other creators here and makers to teach. And we'll do some classes here. It'll be a charity event, so the tickets will reflect that. They'll be limited, but we'll do a huge event here for a weekend here in our office. It'll be all catered. It'll be like a big party. We'll drink some beer and some whiskey and have some burgers or whatever else. Does spiral direction matter for box joints with a router? Yes, I would do. What would I do? Probably do upcut, right? Yeah, I'd do upcut. God, I've never cut box joints on a router. It's so much easier on a table saw. Love the dovetail jig and the router plane too. Even the Cam coffee mug is pretty awesome. Oh, thank you so much. I had coffee at some point. I don't know where it went. Do you ever do in person? Yeah, finally made it. Brad, welcome. Yeah. So spiral direction. The most important thing about box joints, whether it's table saw or router table, is a backer board. You need zero clearance. Any gaps behind where your key is, you're getting the worst freaking tear out you've ever seen. I mean, it's like when you think about what you're cutting, you're cutting box joints right through end grain. So you're just ripping off fibers, man. It's just like, that's the reason you use the marking gauge when you're doing dovetails. Same reason is you don't want to get tear out. Yeah, I need to get a dado stack. Anthony, we're going to restock those locked dados in 2 weeks. They're so incredible. Not only do they work as great as any other dado stack we sell from CMT, but they lock together so you can stack them outside of your arbor, which is the hardest part, like sliding one on with shims at a time. You do it all on top of the table and slide the whole thing on like a sandwich. It's awesome. Just got your dovetail guide. Never tried a dovetail yet. Will the set of the saw scratch the guide? A little bit, but the trick is you take it and where'd that saw go? Mark, will you hand me the folding Dazuki right under the headphones here? Yeah, I'll show you what I do. I do not believe in each power to be just for you. Dude, I do not believe in confidence. Oh, coincidence. Each language accident, the power that be, drop a 30 to 55 second advert in you. On a 10-hour drive. Happy Thanksgiving, Paul. All right, so here's the trick, right? You got your dovetail jig, sticks to your saw like that. The tooth set will scratch it a little bit on the corners, but it's made out of the same material as pool balls. You're not going to mess it up. It just, looks a little scratch. That's all. I always get the very corners are scratched for me. So what I do, is to make sure your saw is in the exact right place. I put it in the line that I want, and I do one backward stroke, and then I slide the jig up to it on the board. And this allows your teeth to get into the wood a little bit below the bottom of the jig, which has a very tiny chamfer on that corner to try and alleviate that. And then you start cutting. But where you're going to scratch it is when you hit the bottom corners and you tilt your saw up and then down to get that last little bit down to your line. That's where I typically scratch it, on the very far corners. But again, no big deal. They're honestly like tough. Watch this. You ready? Boop. Just bounced up in the air. Same material as pool ball, so not even worried about that thing breaking ever. Just a reminder, while we have a lull in questions, we're having the biggest Black Friday event on the internet. Every order enters you to win a contest where we're giving first prize like $2,000 worth of tools, including this router, table saw. Sorry, router table, router. You get a jig square, a bunch of other stuff. Oh man, Amy, I'm sorry. Well, hope you put them in a chokehold or something, or put a little pebble in their shoe they can never get out. Thank you. Yeah, that explanation really works. I've got a video called Comprehensive Guide to Cutting Dovetails. I should redo that. And any future Joint of the Week vids, I loved those too. I wish people watched them. I think what happened was I did all the like more common ones early, and then by the time we started to get to like the more complicated ones, people just didn't watch as much, and so it just it was so much effort to do those. Learning those like really hard joints. This one, the three-way. This one, the three-way Chinese joint. That's the hardest thing I've ever done. It took me a week to do this, and then we shot it 5 times, and I couldn't get it right. And then finally on the 5th one, I did. I don't even remember how it comes apart. There's no glue in this. Where did it go? Oh yeah, the one that looks like it doesn't come out comes out first. Oh yeah, donate. So check that out. It's like so wild, and then like this. So it goes together. You can see all of this wildness, like this, and then like this is a Chinese joint. Boom, 3-way. That was so hard. So I think I would love to do them. Maybe when I retire, that's all I'll do is just screw around in the shop and do Joint of the Week videos, because those were definitely my favorite. The thing about practicing joinery, practicing dovetails, practicing box joints is it helps you get out of a jam later on in life, or later on in your woodworking. All problems can be solved with the skills you learn doing joinery. And when you can figure out how to use hand tools to fix things reliably, it really makes you a great woodworker, because the only difference between somebody who's really skilled at woodworking and somebody who's got a year or so under their belt is they know how to fix all the problems that they have. Because I run into problems on every single project still. I've been doing this for furniture building for 10 years and like woodworking for 30 years. How old am I, 42? Yeah, like 28 years. I built my first thing when I was 14. So, it's important to practice those things and do them in time when, in between projects. To cut a dovetail takes an hour, a full joint. If you do it enough, you can get it down to 5 minutes. 10 minutes, and then when you got to use a handsaw to just make a little cut on a project and fix something, or make a joint a little bit wider, you're going to be able to do it very easily, and you're going to be good at it. So still waiting to find somebody in my area that needs advice. Yeah, if the winner wants, they can donate the prizes to charity. We'll make sure they get deployed. We just deployed 10 saw stops last month. That was really cool. 6 saw stops. It was $10,000 and change dollars worth of saw stops. So that was really cool. So yeah, so win the prizes. All you have to do is shop, buy anything from us on Black Friday. We also just released that woodworking quiz, which is really cool. Let's see how many people have responded to that. That is a massive, that is a really big PEC combo square, huh? That is something else. It's 24 inches, which is really cool. So we just started carrying PEC, which is exciting because they're like the most accurate measuring and marking company on the planet, as good as Starrett or Mitutoyo. In fact, they make Mitutoyo squares. They make a ruler for Lee Valley. They make Brown and Sharp was a real big measuring and marking company. They did all of them. So everything from PEC is like really incredible. I really love these hook rulers. Mark, will you hand me that hook ruler? Thank you, sir. These are like really cool. It has a hook on the end, so you can like put it on the edge of things and like lay out joinery, and you're always going to be in the right spot. You're not going to like worry about being on the edge and, you know, am I off by a thou or 10 thou or something? These are really cool. I've really began to love these. You know, I always loved that Lee Valley layout square that you always see in my apron. And when will the crosscut sled tool be fully available? Guess what? We're going to announce tomorrow that we got it and is ready to go. So, or we're going to announce on Friday that it's here. Just came in. So go get one because we're shipping out packages. We're a few days behind because of Black Friday. So it's only going to get worse this weekend. So if you want to get one, get in line. We'll get it out to you pretty quick. So those things are incredible. It's got like, 79 5-star reviews. People love it. Love it. And I think that like we've had like a couple, like out of 8,000 shipped, I think we've, or 6,500 shipped. The only complaints I think are from people that like messed up their sled and they didn't want to admit that it could be them and all those things, because the manufacturer on those, their tolerances are sick. They're so good. I've now moved a bunch of my products to them because they're so good. The black coating on the chisels is just like the coating on like router bits. That's like a heat coating. It's a anti-corrosion coating. And if you look at them, they come hand sharpened. So they lap them in the when they make them, they sharpen them by hand. Oh yeah, the kids aprons. We're selling kids aprons for $250. I'm taking a $10 bath on those because one, they're super cute, but I thought that people, you know, I love my kids so much. I made that for her. And I posted some pictures of her when we were doing prototypes, and people lost their mind. It was like the cutest thing you've ever seen. I took that as, oh, we're going to sell like a shit ton of these. So I ordered 7,000 of them, thinking, oh, it's going to sell, 2 to 1 to the apron, because we sell a lot of aprons. But it did not. And so we have a lot. So I'm taking a huge bath on those because I just want them to go to homes with people who really have kids that age and love them. And it's great gifts. They're $2.50. So 90% off. Definitely should get them. But yeah, so they come lapped. They lap it with a 20 micron concave, right? So it's like a Japanese chisel, which makes paring much easier. 20 microns is the width of 2 human hairs. So we're talking not much at all. And then, of course, the bevel is it doesn't have the black coating on it. But it's just a corrosion resistance coating. It keeps it from rusting. He has a very high Rockwell chisel. And, it's really good steel. But he's a really cool metallurgist. And I talked about it earlier in the stream. He's really reinvented the way that steel for cutting tools is made. And this is super high, which means it has crazy edge retention. Super high Rockwell, which means it has crazy edge retention, but it's also really easy to sharpen, which is 2 things that usually don't go together. So I couldn't recommend these enough, and they are so inexpensive compared to the chisels they are better than. These are blowing Lee Valley and Lee Nielsen out of the water. Luke from Zenwu, I said this earlier in the thing, he is changing the game. He is learning new ways to make woodworking tools like these ultra flat diamond stones, this 2-sided strop that you don't have to add compound to. I mean, he is changing the game. I'm a big fan of Luke's. We just started carrying some of his stuff after a year. I had to wait a year because I ordered so much. But I'm a big fan of Luke's. Big fan. He is brilliant. Love my apron, and you figure out ways to flaps over the pocket so I can wear it at the lathe. Yeah, I bet. We're going to come out with a 2.0 version next year sometime. I just started working on that, and that's certainly something we're going to do. I think we're going to move the logo so people can do their own logos if they want. I think we'll offer that as a service maybe, that you can add your logo. I don't know. It sounds like it might be a lot of more trouble than it's worth, but I'll give it a try. How many people are in here still? All right. Still got 123 people here. That's amazing. I love doing these live streams. It's really fun to interact with you guys. And I don't ever get to do it live, you know, because on YouTube I'm just responding to comments and seeing the things you guys write, or on Reddit. But it's really fun to do these, and I just thank you guys for being here. And I'm always humbled by the support we get, and the support for our tools and our videos, and it's great. It just always is. It humbles me to watch this kind of stuff. But I do think we need to wrap it up. Remember that we are doing the largest woodworking Black Friday sale on the internet. Everything is on sale. Everything that we have is on sale. And I promise you, if it's in my store, it's in my shop, and I really do believe in it. And if you don't think the same, just send it back. We'll return it. So thank you guys so much for your support. Oh, also, if you buy anything, you're entered to win like $3,500 prize pack. Second prize is you get your own stop block with anything you want on it. So you can get your own logo and a jig square and a sled kit. First prize is like all the KM tools, apron, stop block, dovetail jig, router table, the Tamar 6-in-1 jig. This $700 cordless router from DeWalt, which I think might be the best router on the market. I bought this for myself and I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. We got to give this away on Black Friday. So, thank you so much. Just got home from a 62-mile birthday bike ride. What did I miss? Oh, Aaron, we solved world hunger and cured cancer. So I guess you'll have to find out next time. Sorry, buddy. Guys, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe in the shop. Oh. All right.